There is nothing more satisfying than taking off the blue tape, and as you can see, looks like we've got everything back. I'm gonna still let this dry. I wouldn't try to put shelves on or anything like that, or any of the plates. And just for those who've seen these, this is where a fire extinguisher goes, and there's molly bolts in there, so I didn't do anything from that standpoint. But we'll let everything dry up, and one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to put down some floor just to see what it looks like. Now the big thing is, do you lay it this way or lay it this way? I want to lay it this way so that when it gets up to the door, I can do that. And then when we get ready to do the rest, I can then move on forward from there. I may want to take a hammer. I think that's going to look really good. And go all the way into the kitchen. Well, that's going to be it for the day. We're going to let the walls dry. We'll make sure that everything's taken care of. We'll get back down here tomorrow. I'm going to take, I've got a little sample of this. We'll take and see if we can score it with a knife. Because, boy, if we can score that with a knife, that's going to be great. And I'll also bring one of the Japanese saws that, you know, if I score it, because there's some of these edges here that are pretty tight. But one of the things I like to do is take a Japanese saw, lay this up against it, saw it, and then just slide it right in. So you see this looking pretty nice. Welcome back to the channel. We've actually got all of the painting finished, and we're getting ready to put down the floors. And I've kind of mocked some pieces up here. But one of the problems that I'm having is a little bit of a gap in here. I'm trying to, you know, hammer it into place, but it's just not going. I'm really taking a lot of care in it, but it's just not cooperating as much as what I'd like. So I'm gonna try to see if I can tweak it any way to make it a little bit tighter. Well, sorry I didn't film a little bit more today, but one of the things I wanted to show you was I finished the floor. I feel pretty good about it. It was actually very easy. I ended up just taking it up and putting it back down again, making sure all the seams were out. Now, I still need to get in and caulk and then put the trim on. As you can see, this in here wasn't great, but nothing that caulk will not take care of. So I feel really good. We'll put baseboard down. I'll have to go buy that. But then I'll end up caulking all the way around that. So I think we ended up pretty good. So it's been a week since I've gotten over here, but did just come over last night to bring over some equipment. But one of the things that I ended up doing was I ended up just rough cutting all of the trim. So what I want to end up doing now is I'm going to take and nail all this in, and then I'll fill the holes and caulk, and then I'll let it dry for a little bit, but then I'm going to run over to the local hardware store and get a pedestal sink. So I finished up the cleanup. I've got it all nailed in. I'm just going to go in through here and just do some caulking. I do need some paper towels, because one of the things I do, even though I do use a tool like this, still your finger and wetting is probably the best. I do have a lot of gaps that I need to fill, but we're just going to go right at it. So we have finished up caulking. So all of the gaps are gone. Everything's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to go and get some pedestal sink. We already got a toilet. I've already cleaned up these brass pieces, so that looks pretty good. But I'll let this dry. What I'm going to do is, before we put any of this in, is I'm going to take and paint the baseboard. And it's actually looking pretty good right as it is, but I do need to paint. And there look like some other areas that we may need to paint as well. I still haven't figured out whether I'm going to do anything with this. My wife was saying, why don't we put a bar across to it and we could hang things. Washer and dryer is going to be here. So, it could be. We'll see what the daughter ends up saying she'd like, but we'll get this all cleaned up, and we'll go get the next step done. So I've taken and taped and already started painting. I'm going to do some of the trim here just around the sides, and I'm actually thinking I'm going to get by with a coat. So I'm just going to rip this out and we'll be finished. So one of my favorite parts about this is actually taking up all the tape. I try to get it up prior to it all the way drying, because if there is any problems, I can then take care of them. Big thing is I'm not really sure how this actually works. I think it's something like this, but we'll find out. I'm going to bring in the top on this, and I think the two bolt together, or maybe they just float there. So I believe it actually fits like that. Of course, I'm going to have to do a little work back here. We'll make sure that the knobs are on, everything's put into place. This looks to be that it's put into the wall. I'll read about this. But you know, for now, I think I want to get that in there. I also want to take and put in the wash machine if I can get it in. It may be too heavy. So I do a lot of things on my own, and so I'm going to try to move this on my own. You know, I don't want to do too much in one day. So we've got the washer in. I do want to sweep up a little bit. We'll put the floor mat back down. But I just want all of this to dry. I am going to go over and take a look to see if I can find a dryer. Of course, we need all the hoses here, so I'll have to pull that back out. But this can get cleaned up. It's a wash machine we paid like $150 for. So actually I'm really pretty happy of how this is kind of turning out. So one more sweep and then we're off to look at some other things. And then I think I'll probably just call it a day. So we finally finished up the bathroom. I'm pretty happy with it. Floor's a little dirty because I was doing a little work on some other things. But there's what it looks like in the back. So I didn't film how to put this in just because it was a pain. I don't know if you can see it up in there, but I did find a stud that I was able to attach this to, but I only have it anchored down by one. So the thing is I put it on and then I had to take it off because I found some leaks, put it back on. So it was about 2 or 3 different times and went to the hardware store a number of times. So but it's in and it's looking good. Just put in washer and dryer over here. Actually went to a restore locally here and purchased looks to be so far a really nice LG, but only paid $250 for. And then we found this one here for like $150. So pretty happy with both of those purchases. So this kind of calls it finished with the laundry room and the small bath.